What? Bang!
Wrestling podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep through rep.
Yeah.
Woo!
Who are you to doubt El Dan? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it? Unbelievable.
I'm too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for. It's me, Austin. I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Are you sick and tired of dropping $60 to $100 for the latest and greatest wrestling game every single year? Stop immediately. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable, available exclusively to Facebook. Create a wrestler, sign contracts, get in the storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available now to all Facebook users, totally free. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, want your name and shout-outs like my good buddy John down in Texas, then check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Fro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. Loyalty rewards, $15 a month contributor. Co-host a live show with me, $7.50 a month, enter into a drawing to also co-host a live show with me. And when we do those episodes, just like John and I, right now we're working on a series, 4 episodes coming soon to Patreon exclusive content that we are looking forward to putting up there. I could be doing that with you as well. Hello everybody, welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you've got questions, comments, something you want us to touch on in the future episode, we always love to do that, but you got to give us the word. Give us a shout at the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line, 267-642-1160, and we will get to those questions or comments or concerns in a future episode. Look, it has been a busy weekend. Everything started all last week. There was something pretty much every day of the week. And then, of course, the weekend has been just insane for wrestling fans. I'm not going to spend 3 hours going over everything that happened over the weekend. We're going to go through different things. We're going to kind of do it in a little expedited manner, if so to speak. But let's be honest. The match of the weekend for me was one of the earliest things that took place all weekend. At Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, Bandito going out there and tearing the house down with Konosuke Takeshita was amazing. Probably for me one of the matches of the year. If you didn't get a chance to check out Supercard of Honor, find it. Find it online, find the highlights, find something. It is insane. One of the best matches I have ever seen, and definitely one of the best matches of the year. The applause from the people in attendance, they really if you know something about old school Lucha Libre wrestling, when you really appreciate a wrestler's performance, a lot of times people will throw money into the ring to applaud them for their performance. That happened in droves at Supercard of Honor, where Bandito and Takeshita they tore the house down. It was absolutely beautiful. It was an awesome the crowd paying homage to a great match at the end and throwing it back to original Lucha roots was really, really a special thing to see. Great American Bash was also over the weekend, a solid show. Look, I have nothing to complain about. Again, I'm not going to go through every match on the card. I will say this. Based on what happened later on in the weekend, I'm a little surprised at the booking. I'll say it this way because we're going to get to the results later of Evolution, but a little surprised at the booking of Blake Monroe. I shouldn't say surprised because some of it we've predicted, but I don't like the way it went down and the speed at which it's progressed. I think that's something that really needed to be thought about. I think that WWE, they come up with an idea lately and they just run with it immediately, and that's not always a good thing. That's going to affect Great American Bash and Saturday night's main event in ways that I don't think are always a positive. I thought the Ethan Page, Ricky Saints match was solid. I really did. I thought the Trick Williams, Joe Hendry, Mike Santana signing was interesting for their match at Slammiversary. It's weird to be promoting a pay-per-view, like almost like the TNA's WrestleMania, kind of, on a WWE show. But whatever, that working partnership seems to be paying dividends for everybody involved. I think you really do need to get that belt off of Trick Williams in short order. Obafemi looked amazing, as always, though I don't know why we're really including the Josh Briggs element in this situation. I think they had an opportunity to just let these two go out there and tell a beautiful story and really build a new star, and instead, the outside interference kind of takes away from it a little bit. But I did think the Fatal Influence Blake Monroe-Jordan Grace match was very, very good, very hard-hitting, solid first performance for Blake Monroe in WWE on NXT. Obviously, based on how they booked her in that match, she is primed for an incredible run in very short order, which I think comes with the territory. You're talking about somebody who is the AEW Women's World Champion. You can't exactly bring her in and tell her, hey, you got to wait a couple years to get into the main event scene. She obviously needs to get there quickly. I'm just not thrilled with how things go down over the course of the weekend. Let's go from there. Let's see. Where should we go first? Let's go to All In. Let's talk All In. Kickoff show, the 0 hour was solid. I love the Sons of Texas match. Anytime you can get the Von Erichs, Dustin Rhodes, you throw in Sammy Guevara is fine. And see Kevin Von Erich on a screen is a beautiful thing. What a beautiful way to pay respect to talent that has really, Texas has such a rich tradition in professional wrestling. So many people coming out of that area. The contributions of World Class Championship Wrestling, Southwest Championship Wrestling. There's so much history there. So it was nice to see them come out. The Big Boom AJ stuff, I know people have some people are really into it. I am not. I think the guy can go, but it seems weird. All like the Rizzler stuff and Big Justice and all that, like, it's just a little much for me. And I'll be honest with you, maybe this is me fanning out a little bit, but I'm such a huge Lance Archer fan that I'm just sick and tired of seeing the guy lose in any way, shape, or form. I think he deserves to be in a much better position. I don't know why he's been booked the way he has the last several years in AEW, but whatever, it is what it is. I thought the tag team match with the Outrunners and FTR was not even close to the quality of the match they had on Collision only a short time ago, and here they are on a kickoff show. Why FTR is on a kickoff show, I don't understand either. They are main stars for the company. They should have been somehow more heavily involved, and I mean promoted involved, not last minute thrown into a situation, but actually promoted to be a part of the main card. And this, for me, was kind of a step down. When you get into the main card, the World Trios Championship match was very interesting. I found the ending of the match with the injury angle, the neck angle with Samoa Joe to be very, very interesting. It's something I think is going to obviously play into how the story progresses. I think at some point we're going to see him come out and have a one-on-one match with Gabe Kidd, which will be amazing. Gabe Kidd, talk about a guy who just showed up and balled out. I think we'll see the two of them at Forbidden Door in short order for the IWGP Global Championship. I think that's a great idea. I think it makes a lot of sense. The Men's Casino Gauntlet, all right, the good stuff, it's great to see the Guns. It's great to see Juice Robinson come back. A little weird to see him without a beard. That kind of took me by surprise a little bit. Nice to see MJF and Briscoe, get the chance to actually go out there and do a little bit. Mark Briscoe, for anything anybody has to say about the guy goes out there. He really gives it his all in every match. I thought he did very well opening the show with MJF. The rest of the roster, Ricochet, Bandito, and Takeshita following up on their match from the night prior. Mystico being involved, which I thought was funny that he did like his whole like CMLL entrance for this Casino Gauntlet. Very cool stuff. Josh Alexander, Anthony Bowens, Roderick Strong, Brody King, who I would not have been upset about him winning if he had. Of course, the aforementioned Juice Robinson, Kota Ibushi. We theorized a couple weeks ago that he would be a part of this. Beast Mortos was also involved. Max Caster, and of course at the end, standing tall is MJF, which means he is going to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship very, very soon. Tony Khan did discuss it in the post-show media scrum that he had not yet decided if this was a I don't want to say like a money in the bank kind of situation, like a cash-in situation, or if this was a clearly defined challenge. We'll have to wait and see how they play that out. I think he should have thought that through before booking the match, but whatever. Obviously, the main event scene needs as many stars as possible, and now you have a great opportunity to put MJF back into the scene where he really probably should never have fallen out of, going back to when he lost the championship himself. The sad part of the night, the TNT Fatal 4-Way, which was made last minute due to the announcement by Adam Cole that he has an injury and will be going away for a while and had to vacate the championship. Man, I struggle with this. I'm going to explain why. I think, one, nothing but prayers to Adam Cole for a recovery. The word that is going around the internet is that he has another concussion. You know, a couple years ago, he had a couple of them back-to-back. It caused some serious concerns. He did have the ankle injury. All those things are what they are, but for him to have to relinquish a championship when only a couple days earlier, even some reports say the day earlier, they really thought he'd be cleared to wrestle. It's just concerning. You never want anybody to have any lingering long-term effects from the injuries they suffer in the ring, and I think it's really a shame that Adam Cole, who at one point in time, if you would have told me he was going to beat MJF for the World Championship, I'd have believed it. Not a problem at all. He already, before this injury, had fallen so far down the card, in my opinion. Like, I don't think anybody looked at him as being a legitimate World Championship contender in any way, shape, or form, any measurable metric. Can you really say that the 2025 version of Adam Cole was ever going to be competing with the likes of Swerve Strickland or Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Konosuke Takeshita? Was he going to go in there with Kazuchika Okada? Was he going to go in there with MJF again? Is he going to go in there, any of those guys? I don't think he was anywhere near that level because of the way they've booked him since he came back. And that's kind of an indictment on Tony Khan. Now, back to the match itself. The TNT title Fatal 4-Way. It's a beautiful thing to see these guys get some time. I think maybe a little too much time because this whole pay-per-view was a little very, very long. But Dustin Rhodes, Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, and Kyle Fletcher, everybody going into the show just knew Kyle Fletcher was walking out of there with the championship. I think when they did this, everybody felt it even more. And then the shock surprise win, Dustin Rhodes with a roll-up small package for the pinfall. And just like Cody before him, Dustin Rhodes, another Rhodes, holds the TNT championship. The post-show media scrum was interesting to hear Tony Khan talk about the history that Dustin has had on the Turner networks and how this was so fitting. I love that Dustin got his moment and gets his flowers. I think he has contributed so much to the business. I think he deserved an opportunity. I never thought that they would give it to him. And to see him be able to get this chance to run with the TNT Championship is really, really awesome. It's very cool. In 2025, you don't see those guys get that chance. I mean, let's be honest, though. Ready? I'm going to flip the script on you. You see the fan reaction when Dustin Rhodes in his late 50s wins the TNT Championship and everybody's on board with it. They're all crying with him. They're all happy for him. But if Bill Goldberg would have won the World Heavyweight Championship, it would have been raining down hatred. I'm just saying. We'll get to that later. But I just see some hypocrisy in a segment of the wrestling audience. Me personally, I'm thrilled for Dustin. I would have been thrilled for Goldberg. The EVPs versus Swerve and Ospreay, the Young Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay. I hate to say it, but I'm a little surprised. I actually kind of wanted the Bucks to win. I think the EVP angle really plays to a great storyline ongoing. Whereas if you eliminate Swerve and Will Ospreay from the World Championship picture for a year, you can always, if you decide to change your mind later, you can always have some kind of stipulation come out where they could earn it back. But in the short term, I think they really need to focus on the fact you have a babyface champion. So you've got how long until you either take the belt off him so that the two baby faces, being Swerve and Ospreay, can challenge for the belt? Are you going to do face versus face matches? Who else do you have to challenge for the belt? And what do you think they're going to do? I mean, Okada obviously could. Omega could. There's several that can. I wonder sometimes if it wouldn't have been better to take those two out of the World Championship picture just to lend to the beauty of when they do get their opportunity to challenge for that championship. It would have meant so much more if they were made to wait another year. Think of it, it's very akin to what they did with Cody Rhodes not finishing the story WrestleMania 39 and instead having to wait for WrestleMania 40. So I thought the match was solid. I really did. The Jacksons, they balled out. They are tag team specialists. Everything they did was like on the money. There was nothing bad about this match, and how you really, I think going into it, nobody had any expectation that anybody was going to be less than amazing in this match. The Women's Casino Gauntlet, another one where, like, when you have two of these on the same night, you got to be careful. You don't want to overbook these things. It started with Statlander and Megan Bayne, Willow Nightingale, Tay Mello, Felka came out, Julia Hart, Queen Aminata, Mina Shirakawa, Athena, Thunder Rosa. I mean, the list went on and on. Debuts of Suri and Alex Windsor. I mean, you had a lot going on here. I think the issue for me that really took away from this match was all the outside interference. I mean, there were so many people who were not in the match who were in the match that it kind of takes away from the fact. Now, I'm thrilled that Athena won because I think she needs to move away from Ring of Honor and into AEW. I really thought that if she won this, that it was a guarantee that Monet would win the other just because there's history there. But that, we'll get into that in a minute. But I'm thrilled for Athena. A little confused on the booking. We'll have to see where that goes in the ongoing months. The World Tag Team Championship 3-way. How do I say this? This match should have ended 15 minutes earlier, easily. Like, honestly, this was a glorified squash match. The Hurt Syndicate were never in trouble. They hit everything they needed to hit. They were wiping out Jet Speed. Cage and Wayne never had a shot. The turn by Wayne on Cage, the save by Adam Copeland, or Cope, was very much telegraphed. You could see it coming. I'm happy for Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin getting their opportunity to really run with those belts. I'm just curious, if nobody in this match won the belts, who's going to? And how do you play that? After the match, FTR, who were on commentary, start getting into a shoving match with Christian Cage and the Patriarchy. That's when Nick Wayne betrayed Christian. All sorts of stuff going down. I think this could have been really, really interesting. I think it went way too long. The Women's World Championship match between Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm. Again, a phenomenal match. I know there's a viral clip going on out there where there's somewhat of an adult angle where Toni Storm has her in a reverse